win 3-1 against the compatriot CHIRITA. Up next, it's Iulian CHIRITA up against the mighty WANG Chuqin.
From Romania, please welcome Iulian CHIRITA. And the world number 2 from China, WANG Chuqin.
And here he comes, one of the favorites, one that will get the support. We heard plenty for Sun Yingsha earlier on today, and you can be sure that there'll be plenty of WANG Chuqin fans around. Somebody who, wherever he goes, attracts the support, and wherever he goes, leads the way in so many ways for the formidable Chinese men's representation here in Las Vegas. Adam Bobro's jumped back into commentary to join me here. It's always fun when the WANG Chuqin show comes to town, and what an honor and what a reward for Iulian CHIRITA to get through from qualifying.
Yeah, their first time ever meeting. You know, WANG Chuqin has been in outstanding form recently, but at the end of the previous year, there was a long stretch of turbulence. I think a lot of people forget that Fan Zhendong experienced the same thing not long before that. Iulian CHIRITA, a very strong opponent. WANG Chuqin, one of the best serves, one of the most aggressive games in the world. He's quite determined, that is. Greg Joba, our umpire for the match, will be taking care of the coin toss to determine where the players stand and who serves. I'm excited to see this match, and I'm always excited to see WANG Chuqin play. Making sure that flashes are off. All is fair and square, a man determined to be what he sees in Ma Long and Fan Zhendong, someone that China can rely on time and time again to hold the flag high.
Yeah, he speaks about that, and we'll come back to that soon. Here's the toss. Yeah, it's a good point you made, that one, about WANG Chuqin and representation. I read an interview with him, and he spoke about Ma Long, and he spoke about Fan Zhendong, and he said, whenever I felt I had those guys alongside me, no one was going to stop us. We were invincible. And he said, I'm looking to try and achieve that again. I want to get that feeling back.
Yeah, there are 2 open holes right now, 2 big pairs of shoes to fill, that of Ma Long and that of Fan Zhendong. And while the men's team in China is the best in the world by far, right now, they seem to be in a bit of a rebuilding stage despite holding down some of the top spots in the world. But let's talk about this 19-year-old world ranked number 70. He's been on the rise recently. Many have seen him for years overseas and said this guy's got the it factor. He's just got game. He's a fighter. He's pulled off some big victories in recent history. But the former world number 1 and world number 2 currently, WANG Chuqin, player with some big titles to his name. What, 2 smashes already, both last year? WANG Chuqin, 25 years old, had drone shows that brought what looked to be hundreds of thousands to the streets of China. And those drone shows were specifically to celebrate his 25th birthday. Don't leave Shasha out when she turns 25. Here they are, the Singapore Smash 2024, the Saudi Smash 2024. He took the 2 first Grand Smashes of 2024, only leaving the China Smash to none other than the star of the Shidong show. Right there, the VIP seats. You are in the VIP seats. Good time to have them. Great view inside the Maverick Arena. The first time there has been a Maverick Arena, it will be exclusive for the United States Smash, I'm told. $100,000 in prize money to the champion. The runner-up gets 50 grand, not too shabby, but if you're knocked out here, 4,000, well, in Vegas, let's just say 100 grand would be much better. I guess that's true most places in the world. Fan vote 91%.
What is the game?
Behind Lionheart Hope. WANG Chuqin. Cast your votes at worldtabletennis.com or on the WTT app.
Start.
Just looking at the reward to get a play against a guy and a legend like him. He got past Cedric Nightink did CHIRITA, and that's why he's part of this show. And that's why you qualify, isn't it?
Pretty big part. Got about 6 of your head in one section at the VIP seats.
First game, CHIRITA to serve, level.
So CHIRITA got past Nighting, Rassenfuss as well.
So only Belgians, basically?
Yeah, he likes playing Belgians.
Inside out forehand for the finish, and the quality in this rally.
Two.
Round of 64, facing Wang Chuqin is nobody's pick, but Wang Chuqin wouldn't want to have to be playing against a player who can hit shots like this time and time again.
1-2.
He's very, very precise on his serve, Wang Chuqin, right next to that baseline, the second seed. And so far, it's been a server's match. 2 outright service points there, those tight serves near the baseline. Now, if CHIRITA thinks there's anything that's not right about it, he can always call. But I do think that last time Wang Chuqin was TTR'd, he was successful just about every time, which just goes to show you how amazingly precise and well calculated his game is.
And now he starts to put the power on show there. TTR'd, of course, Table Tennis Reviewed. Look at CHIRITA, he was actually the finalist in the European Under-21s this year. But then there's a step up and a step up in level.
Nice change of pace here on the receive, CHIRITA, slowing it down, playing it into the middle. So after 2 points taken against him on serve, he returns the first favor.
Four. Oh.
While power is important, it's not all power. You can see the wide stance there, the leg muscles from CHIRITA as he gets low. Right down the line, full extension. The footwork, Romania has been strong in the women's department for quite some time. But since the years of Andre Philemon, who's on the bench right now, a few others, Adrian Crisson, we just are seeing the next generation with Edward Ionescu and Iulian CHIRITA. It's looking good in form right now.
The energy he's bringing here. You know, something interesting. We saw Shasha in action earlier today, and she was cold. She didn't get going. We got these guys coming out of qualifying. He's fired up. He's full of beans. He's at it. CHIRITA, you know, people have flown a long way to come here. It'll take a little while to get started, I'd imagine, sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't look into Yang Zilio's path to her match with Sun Ying-sha, but that is the case sometimes, coming out cold. Of course, the players warm up, but it's different being on the main table. The heat of competition, the stress that the body goes through when it counts. All you have to do is talk to a player and ask them how they do in practice versus how they do in competition. 2 completely different situations. Beautiful backhand, powered up CHIRITA. Steps in front after being down 2-4. He's done a wonderful job of keeping Wang Chuqin a little bit guessing on the receive and behind the table in the rally. Not easy to do. Part of the reason they call him Hope and Lionheart, he just has this never give up spirit, even behind the table. It's not easy to deal with.
7-8.
Just generates so much whip on the ball.
Watch the extension. Look how far. So here, this isn't even the full example. This is relatively compact for Wang Chuqin. Variation in the push game.
9-7.
He's got a game plan. He's taking the game very, very well to Wang Chuqin here.
This is not unique to table tennis, but unpredictability gives you such an advantage. Nice, slow, spinny. That ball does not come deep on the table. It leaves Wang Chuqin with a ball that's past its prime.
And who'd have thunk it? We'd see this fella who's come through qualifying looking to get himself some game points to start off with here against the #2 seed.
He's done that at the third towel break. They come up every 6 points. They're optional. Sort of a little mini timeout, a chance for a player to catch their breath and then come to the table with a clear plan.
And there it is. Look at that.
8.
He turns to the coach, the man you mentioned earlier, and he celebrates. And again, we see a very highly rated Chinese player getting off to a slow start here on day 1 in the Maverick Arena. So it's CHIRITA who comes out of the first as the victor, 11-8, as he now sinks his teeth into this matchup. Now let's check in here on Chen Xingtong, another of the Chinese. Now Chen Xingtong had to come from 2 down against her countrywoman He Chuojia, but come back she did in an absolute cliffhanger. 11-9 in the 5th. Wow, we nearly lost Tong Tong there, but that was always a tough draw.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that draw, I thought to myself, the 3rd seed could not do much worse than getting He Chuojia in the opening round. This is a player with long pips on the backhand who's been inside the top 20 in the world in her opening round. He Chuojia can beat just about anybody here. I don't think there's a player here she can't beat, but Tong Tong with a nail-biting success story there to get through. It's a strong warm-up, much like Sunying Xia had earlier against Yang Ziliu.
1 to serve. Level.
Oh.
This is very tactically interesting. Iulian CHIRITA starts off with game number 1. Here he plays everything slow to the backhand, and at the moment he senses Wang Chuqin might pivot, he goes the other way. But look at the difference in power here. The quality of this shot. He's just constantly changing it up. The first point of game 2 was soft. It was a bait. A little help from the net there, but again, he recognizes when he's put in a position to respond, to react. And there, just adds a little bit of spin, a little bit of fortune as well. They're 12 of the last 16.
Oh, but it came back. He wasn't figuring on that.
Return to sender. Your postage is not accepted here, my friend. Right back into the middle. Wang Hao with a calm look there as his player gets his first point this game.
But again, it goes back. So impressive. He's going pace on, pace off. He's mixing it up. He's going to have to keep this going for another couple of games, but it's a game plan that's working thus far.
Well, he got himself back in the point, CHIRITA. I thought that first wide forehand was enough to finish the job, but CHIRITA had other plans. Look at this. Very edge of the racket, right to the line, opposite corner, and takes his chances for a big backhand rip. If he makes that, this gets really interesting. Still is.
Oh, wow. You know, he looks really well conditioned. Maybe everyone who's 19 looks pretty fit and healthy, but he looks really well trained. And it just looks sharp, CHIRITA.
It was desperation. The ball before was so perfectly played. Watch where it hits him. Right in the middle. Passive shot sits up high. Now the power comes in full stroke. The slap shot to the short side attempted. Whew.
He wasn't far off.
Indeed.
Oh, not this time. He slapped one back and then he sent way wide.
That's a cool camera angle to enjoy that point. You can see the arc on the ball, appreciate what it's like to be here, and look how much that ball bends when he hits the inside-out forehand.
We haven't seen many of those from CHIRITA. He's tended to keep the ball alive, which has led to his strong position in this match.
chop block for the
6,
point.
5.
Welcome to the chop block
Your
party.
first of the evening.
Oh man, didn't expect it with all the power that we saw. When it's deep to the backhand, you don't have time, you want to slow it down, that's one way to keep it funky.
6-0.
Not an easy ball, slow, spinny, arcing shot near the net. Wang Chuqin with the long lunging step. Watch the feet of Wang Chuqin for this. Oh, love it.
That right foot extended forward.
Thank you for participating in that. It was a cool experience.
7-6.
Now he's
Down
getting,
six.
he's getting a taste of his own medicine a little bit in terms of change of pace. That was a much shallower shot. Wang Chuqin says, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to use some racket speed, but I'm going to play it a little bit more shallow on the table for you, and I've got the momentum. 6 of the last 8. Catches the edge after all that. The feeling from under the table. Lionheart here making that move, put in an uncomfortable position, but the control and just that faint nick. That's all you need, is just to touch the playing surface.
6-9.
You and I were having a conversation, as many fans will know, about Wang Chuqin and the players, his predecessors, who've inspired him. Ma Long, Fan Zhendong.
10-6.
But Wang Chuqin has shown his resilience, from Shunsuke Togami to others over the years, and now he's got 4 game points to tie it up.
And there it is.
11-6.
And just
Game to 1.
like that, he turns it on, he adapts to what his opponent's doing, he imposes his own formidable game on things, and he says, okay, enough. Let's level things up here in Las Vegas. So having dropped the first 11-8, he takes out the second 11-6, and it looks very much as if Wang Chuqin, for what we know, has arrived in the United States of America. Took a while to get going, now he's playing the way he can, and this is entertainment on show here. If he keeps this up, outside, Orawan Paranang in action. The Thai player calmly celebrating victory against Yuan Wen of Germany, I think it was.
Yeah, Wang Yuan of Germany has been having a big uprising recently. Her and Anton Schellberg been training together, among other things, in Dusseldorf for years now. Her father actually a coach at Borussia Dusseldorf. Might have even seen her on a German TV show playing on the longest, thinnest table you've ever seen to suspense music. It went viral on the internet recently.
Oh, yeah.
Third game. CHIRITA to serve. Level. 1 low.
Yeah, so I was saying the Wang Chuqin show's come to the States big time in terms of his playing well. What about the young man at the other end of the table there? What's he got to get back to?
1.
Well, he was clearly making Wang Chuqin uncomfortable. Sometimes that means pressure, quickly and aggressively. Here, bit of an edge to make that ball divert. But again, it's a guessing game. It's playing confidently and making decisions quickly.
1-2.
Bottle challenge serve attempted, looking for that pendulum to the backhand. That's a way to punish a player who's creeping in for the backhand receive.
So quick to run around that.
2-0.
Yeah, watch the force Wang Chuqin gets here. The trajectory, it's just such a low drive. Oh, the face says it all, the scream mask reaction.
2-3.
Now he's learning a few facts of life at the very, very rarefied top of the men's game.
You take the good, you take the bad.
4-2.
Facts of life. Good times.
He's learning a lot here right now. Because what's happening is the ball's coming at him with venom and pace and movement, and it's a little bit too much for him to handle. 13 of the last 16 points going to Wang Chuqin. Oh.
4,
Kept
3.
it in play, forced Wang Chuqin to play one more shot, and that white line looked a little bit thicker than it was. Short side, bit of side spin and top spin on it. Now the thing is, the side spin that came in on that ball would normally make the ball come back to the table. But
Oh,
it
he
just,
misses.
yeah, go ahead.
He misses there, yeah. But the thing about it is that he's just surviving here. 2 points ago, he got a point by surviving one and then celebrating the next. And somehow this young man from Romania just has to cling on.
3, 6.
Star Trek references aside, though, tight match here. Hope I got that one right.
Yeah. Oh, now.
6, 4.
When you get a chance, you take it and enjoy it. And he did just that.
Heavy spin comes in from one of the most dominant players in the world, and he doesn't block. He rips it, not cross court safely, right down the line. Really putting his risk in here in Vegas.
7, 4.
It's funny, I'm watching the match, but I'm also keeping my eyes on the crowd here just to see if any of my other favorite celebrities show up. The timing on this one, Wang Chuqin right on top of the bounce. Loving the peace signs from the front row seats. Into the elbow, gets the right leg back, and it creates the opening to the forehand. That's smart combination play from the world number 2. A little bit safer play, still the drive. But it's heavy topspin from Wang Chuqin, staying on the attack where he can. Man, is that a beautiful shot.
9, 5.
There they are. Why so quiet?
Nine, 6.
Just to elaborate on that point, I mentioned what felt like hundreds of thousands throughout about 10 cities in China taking to the streets. Many of those people fly around the world to watch Wang Chuqin play in person.
Oh,
7, 9.
that one's to be filed away in the karma memory banks.
Touch there, and right now it's going to be a bit of a timeout, a conversation to make sure that it is not only filed away, but, well, this game is captured by Team China's Wang Chuqin.
So as Wong House says what he has to say, and it'll be wise, you can be sure of that. Let's just remind you what we've got coming your way here. This is the evening session on the first day's play of the US Smash 2025, and representing Canada we have Mo Chan, who's going to be up against the Japanese player who always brings entertainment. The 9th-seeded Hina Hayata is her opponent in a women's singles round of 64, I should say, that is coming up shortly after.
From the little that I caught, it was conversation about the receive. Use the backhand, get in with the banana flick, use that backhand where you can. Focus on that. In case you were curious what Hina Hayata was doing, touching the ball with her nails, spinning it, players choose 15 balls each to make sure that they spin without wobbling, that they're completely spherical, that they're hard. And then they put those balls, they select them to play with. 30 total, 15 for each player. And this is exactly what Wang Hao asked for. Get in with the backhand, play the placement specifically. Here he goes right for the elbow to the backhand corner.
3 game points. Oh, misses one of them.
10, 8.
And again, CHIRITA just has to hang in, survive, stay alive any way he can.
Ten, 9.
Heavy spin's one way to do it. You saw Wang Chuqin looking down at his racket the point before and after this point as well. I talked about turbulence starting around Paris over the summer. He's had his share of it. Rackets have been a big question. But he escapes.
11.
Yeah,
9.
and he escapes, you're right. He
Game 2.
didn't have to necessarily pull out all the stops there, but he'll take it because it puts him 2-1 up. And we can come back to his ambitions in this tournament, plans, and what may or may not happen. But the fact of the matter is that he's now taken a lead ahead of the 19-year-old Romanian, and he's done so with, in the end, a harder-earned 11-9 than you thought it might be.
Time. Fourth game. Wang to serve. Level. One low.
So having dropped the first, Wang Chuqin has found his way into this event, and his form has improved, and he's now standing a game away from progress to the round of 32. Unless the grey-shirted Romanian is able to channel that form of game one and produce some of that fantastic play we saw from the qualifier.
2-1. Two, oh.
This is
3.
And so this has started a lot better for CHIRITA.
Let 3-0.
He's having to pull out all the stops and go for the shots here. Here's CHIRITA. Everything has to be done just that little bit more expansively. Got to take some risks. Oh, and then when he leaves the table open, that is the only result.
Timeout.
Punished and put away, a timeout called.
Poate poți să să-i mai dai lungă, știi? Direct. Acum a sărit de... Cum? Face, da. Cade direct în jos. O faci un pic tăiată. Dacă o dai tu tăiată, îi dă într-un fel, îi dă efectul, nu știu cum, îi dă că îți alunecă în jos, nu poți să-i dai de sus. Nu o dă de sus agresiv, o dă un pic așa tare. Nu știu, adică poți să... Deja poți să-i mai servești, mai semni, uite aici.
Just checking in on the Smash Arena, Jonathan Grutz getting the job done against Yusuf Abdelaziz, who's had a busy day today, but he exits the round of 64, and Grutz goes through and interesting scenes at the end of that one. Might come back to. Didn't look like there was a handshake.
Oh, that's weird.
Could be wrong. Might have to look at that again. But there was something happening there.
I saw hands moving towards each other and looked away for a moment and heard the sound of a high five. So I figured everything. My mind filled in the blanks.
Yeah, there were a few words, but okay, we'll see. We'll have a little look at that story again.
5, 4.
Yusef's got beef with nobody, and Jonathan I just can't imagine anything beef-like between them.
No, you wouldn't think so, would you? Just a little bit odd. Just looking at the draw, by the way, it's bottom half of the draw, obviously, for Wang Chuqin as the number 2 seed. Win this one, and it would be Gao Zhengrui waiting for him in the round of 32. Winner against Anders Lind.
6, 5.
Gao Zhengrui has been improving quite quickly. Some big victories recent times, including Felix Lebrun, one of the most successful players this year in WTT by many standards, in terms of saving game points anyway.
5, 7.
Timeout's paid off. 4 points in a row out of the timeout for CHIRITA.
And a cry of frustration from Wang then as that one got away from him.
Everything is fast here. High altitude, fast tables.
6, 7.
You're right to mention that, because if there's one thing we've seen repeatedly today, and both Jimmy Butler and yourself told us that we should expect it at altitude and with the speed that that brings to the way the ball comes, we've seen players rearing back up off the table occasionally.
Right.
As if the ball has just got up at them.
7,
Yeah, it takes some time to acclimate, to just adjust to what you're used to. And again, these players travel the world, all climates, all altitudes. Sometimes a bit of safety, a bit of spin, but driven behind the table here. CHIRITA, 2 points in a row for his opponent.
7,
And the shot
8.
clock carries long. It's Wang Chuqin who's finding his rhythm now. 3 on the trot.
And that's the hand clap from Wang Hao that says, yep, good time to get that.
Slow and spinny into the middle. It's
Yeah.
such an iconic serve, too. I saw a picture on WTT, how extended his arm is, how low his legs are. I mean, look at that. In this wide-angle shot, his foot looked like it was size 45. US 45.
9.
Oh, shows the emotion, as well he might.
Not the first time we've seen the very expressive face there in anguish. Wang Chuqin drives it to the deep corner. As the team watches on Xuefei there, the penhold sensation, former junior world champion, who's here as a sparring partner nonetheless. That's how deep China rolls. But the team spirit, the collective, watching on.
9, 10.
CHIRITA still fighting. He came off the blocks fighting. The first 2 points in this match were jaw-dropping. And there hasn't been much disappointment since in terms of a spectator's dream. But it's Wang Chuqin who drives it into the middle, into that backhand corner. Good match, he says.
1.
And it is well done indeed from a man on a mission. Lionheart, Wang Chuqin takes the game and the match. 3-1 after being beaten 11-8 in the first. The second seed moves on to the round of 32. Iulian CHIRITA, a player who you will be watching, you will be hearing about for years and years to come. The 19-year-old eliminated at the hands of a smiling 25-year-old who's focused, determined, and one step closer to where he wants to be. Wang Hao watching at the end. Get ready for this backhand receive, racket parallel to the table, slow-mo into that crossover. The Chinese squad watching on. Wang Liqin in the background there. A player beaten by CHIRITA's coach, Andre Philemon. Despite being one of the most dominant players of his era, Wang Liqin now the president of CTTA. Wang Hao, 27 months at world number 1. And Wang Chuqin spent his time in world #1, but I'm sure he'll be back there at some point. After 29 minutes of play in his opening match, the round of 64, it was 41-35. Serve success, just 50% for the winning player. That's how strong the receives were on both sides.